All right, guys, welcome back to this week's episode of Just Some Podcast. I'm actually going to change the name because I'm going to go more than trading. I'm going to go beyond trading in this podcast. It's just a single aspect. If you have any suggestions, email me justsomtrader@gmail.com. Yeah, I want to talk more about life and how to decondition yourself and self-improvement, like real raw, hardcore self-improvement. And that's going to bring me actually to what I want to talk today is why you have to decondition yourself and why you have to reprogram yourself for success. First off, is you have to define what success is for you, right? For me, success I used to want to play in the NBA, right? This 5'7", 5'8" on a good day kind of guy. I used to want to play in the NBA. Hardcore. I had a dream of playing for the Lakers. It didn't pan out. Probably halfway because I believed that it was only a half truth, like partially not possible. And that's on me for believing that, right? I used to work my butt off. I got really, really good, like really, really good, but I never fully believed that I can make it to the pros. I can tell you that I thought that I was destined to do something cool in my life, something great with my life. I just didn't know what that was. But let's talk about deconditioning and really how some of the things that we see on social media and the things that we're told to by quote unquote successful people may not work for you. So uh you learned a lot about me in the last episode from Megan, my coach, my spiritual leader, my friend. Um, we talked about me being a manifesting generator, and that's just that's my aura type, right? Everyone has an aura type. Doesn't care if you believe it, it doesn't really matter. So I've always was interested in doing the work, but also being lazy in attaining wealth. And I can actually tell you what's possible, right? So for someone like me, being a manifesting generator, I'm all about working in multitasking and doing multiple things, which is why you see everything that I do is actually centered around trading. The podcast centered around trading, mentoring centered around trading, and first and foremost, actually trading. Right. So I carved a niche out for myself in trading. And when I'm passionate about something being an MG, I go all the way in. I had zero idea my that I would actually like podcasting, that I would like sitting here talking to people. Didn't know. But when I look at my chart, it makes sense, right? One of the biggest energy centers for me is my throat. So I like to talk. People like to hear what I have to say, and I embrace that. But being an MG, it it I need something that I'm passionate about. And I also understand that part of it too is time. And the other part of it is some of it's just going to keep me busy, keep me doing busy work because having a defined sacral center means I am I'm going nonstop. And if I'm not physically doing something, then my mind is going. So that's what it is for me, right? I have to be passionate about something and I have to really, really love it, right? And for me, success is no longer defined as a dollar amount. It's defined as, am I living my passion? Am I working in my purpose day in and day out? And I can answer that question and honestly say yes. For someone like my daughter is a manifester with the same profile type. She's going to create the laziest way possible for her to make money. And that's fine. But it also goes in complete opposite to what you're told online is that, the David Goggins of the world and all that. You got to work, work, work. Well, that's true for some. A generator can probably do that, right? A pure generator, right? I'm a pure manifesting generator. Um, can do that, right? With the sacral energy. But For someone like my child, my daughter, whose aura type is really, really rare, if she gets into trading, she's going to be a swing trader. If she starts a business, she's probably going to be a delegator, right? She will end up building people to take and share responsibility, and she will do the minimal amount of work she can and make the most that she can. That's the advantage of the manifestor profile, right? So let's talk about the projector profile. um Megan is a projector. My wife's a projector, and I tell my wife too, she should find something that she can delegate, somewhere where she can manage and go in short bursts. um Her being a projector, she doesn't have access to that steady stream of energy that a generator or a manifesting generator has. And again, that's fine. She's not going to be able to work until you drop. She's going to get burned out quicker than I would, right? So for a projector type, right, you're not going to be able to go for that 8 to 9 to 12 hours, and you're probably going to hate life, right? It's going to suck, but you, you have energies in steady in bursts, right? I always tell my wife, you need a projector nap, you and the baby, because the baby's actually a projector energy type too, and that's for sure. You needed a nap, and it it just works. I don't have much experience with the reflector aura type, but they tend to reflect their environment, but then they can also reflect their inner being. So I would say for someone like a reflector, they're going to sample all walks of life, and the environment will be very, very important for someone like that. But the point the point is, so when I first started learning about human design types, I wanted to see who did I have a similar design type to, and it turns out it was my favorite athletes. Michael Jordan's a manifesting generator, Kobe Bryant. There's so many other people, but those are the top two for me, right? And the sports that I watch, there were so many manifesting generators, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to be at the top of my game just because I have that potential. And then Jay-Z, another one of my favorites. He's a generator, right? With mental authority, and that's really, really rare. But the point is you you have to decondition yourself to what you think success is. For me, it's multifaceted. It's a dollar amount, it's time freedom, it's also freedom of choice, doing what I want to do, when I want to do, how I want to do it. And that's the game for me. Like, that's the game for me. Like, the generator side of me is I can work and do what I want. The manifesting generator in me wants to be lazy, and I don't really give a crap what people think about me, right? But when I can, and again, I'm multifaceted, and I can respond. And they say manifesting generators can't initiate. I can initiate. I know I can. I've done it before. So I go between both aura types very smoothly, because I'm a hybrid aura type, and I use it to my advantage, right? When I need to close off, become more of a manifester, I just close off. And that's when my body is literally telling me to close off. So those are times where I take time for myself. I don't produce videos for the team. I take just the time away, because the body's smarter than what we give it credit to be. But then I recharge, the sacral recharges. Sometimes I don't even need a nap. Sometimes I just need to sit down for 12 minutes and the fire's burning again. And then I just get back and go. Uh, for my generators, like, there's guys in my group who are generators. I've done their design charts, and they are work loads. They can go, go, go. I'm talking both of these guys, actually, like all three of them that I've found that are generators. They are the ones that can sit at the charts for hours at a time, not me. I say, F this, I need to do something else, right? But again, I'm being a manifesting generator. I am literally supposed to multitask, supposed to do certain things, and then I get bored. Right? I just get bored. I'll sit here and be like, this doesn't have my attention. Even if I'm passionate about it, it doesn't have my attention. Doesn't mean I can't be freaking successful at it. The point of that is, I have things that I have to do every single day that are not negotiable. I don't negotiate those with myself. And that's my path, right? I think that's will be the same for like the generator. The generators list will probably be way longer than my list. For me, it's like 3 to 4 things. And the same for the projector. I would have projectors plan breaks, plan a nap. But in the time that you're active, bust your butt, right? Bust your butt. And then when you start to wind down, take a nap, right? And there's beauty in that, beauty in knowing, okay, you don't have to be the workhorse that's going to do 32 hours a day, right? Even though there's only 24. It's just dogma. It's dogma. You don't have to push yourself that hard, but you have to be productive in whatever it is. I used to sit at charts. I've never done a 15-hour day at the charts. I've done 7 and 8, but I do it in bursts. I would go 2 on, few off, 2 on, few off, 3 on, 1 off. And even with this podcast, I spent a lot of time brainstorming things I don't want to talk about. And again, it's a passion project for me. So I can actually sit and brainstorm and come up with topics I don't want to talk about. Like I really do believe that deconditioning success, I would say deconditioning the way we look at success has to has to happen. Prime example, LeBron James gets 8 hours of sleep a night, sometimes 12, and a 2 to 3 hour nap in the daytime. That's 15 hours of sleep. And this guy is one of the greatest of, he is the greatest in this generation basketball player, right? Michael Jordan's the GOAT to me. We can debate about that if you want, but I can't even put LeBron ahead of Kobe. But LeBron is the greatest all around basketball player ever. But the guy can gets 15 hours of sleep a day. So what does that mean? That means he's productive in his work windows. And he runs several companies. I wouldn't be shocked if LeBron's a projector, a horror type. The guy gets 15 hours of sleep a day. That's insane. And he's a billionaire. He's literally a billionaire. But he did it his way. He's doing it in the way that he's in alignment, whether he knows it or not. He's probably in perfect alignment with his unique energy. Because if you go to someone like a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan, right, or who else, a Stephen Curry, they probably have to put in a crap ton of work, more work than LeBron to be where they're at. But that's just their energy. That's just their aura type. But then again, because it just astounds me that this guy can get 15 hours of sleep a day and be a billionaire. But there's nothing wrong with that. He's still been yet to be. He's not showing his age on a basketball court. What he's doing is working. So would a social media star, let's say that the names of like a David Goggins, can he tell LeBron that he needs to work harder? Probably not, right? It's not about pushing yourself to the brink of extinction because I've done it. It's not a good. It's about being productive and being effective in the time that you are productive. And I think there's 3 layers of success for me. I'm going to speak for me. For me, there's 3 layers of success too. There's financial, there's spiritual, and then there's personal. My personal success number, I'm not at yet. I'm not going to tell anyone what it is. It's not no one's business. I have that number in my head that I'm going for. Personal is for me to grow spiritually every day, every day, in some way, shape, or form. Personal is constantly getting better as a dad, constantly getting better as a husband. Uh, that is what it is for me. And then there's the sub things like freedom, like time freedom, right? Like financial freedom, the freedom to be able to do this recorded podcast on a freaking Monday afternoon when it's gloomy outside. And I'm fully aware that there are people at work that don't want to be there. And I'm sitting here talking to a camera with a ring light and a microphone. Like, how cool is that? Count my blessings. I count my blessings, right? I count my blessings for sure. But the idea that you have to be working when everyone else is sleeping, it's done. It's dead in the water because again, 15 hours of sleep by LeBron. He's literally sleeping while we're working, and he's worth more than 99.9% of the people on the planet. And he still is a great father, pushing people to live like generators when the majority of the population, well, the majority of the population, there are generators, but we have the other 40% that aren't pure generators that can't go 12, 15 hours a day. And if they do, we're going to have a planet full of miserable souls. And it's kind of irresponsible too, because you're telling people to push and push until they have that breakthrough and they burn out and they never have the breakthrough, but they don't know how they're best aligned. You can't look them in the face and say that your plan was foolproof. Your plan was foolproof for you. I can't do what LeBron does. I can't sleep 15 hours. I feel like I wasted my life if I slept 15 hours. I barely like getting 8 hours of sleep. I told Megan that I felt like sleep's a burden because for me it is. I would like to be learning and doing something with the majority of my time. That's just who I am. I like to sit and learn about stuff that I'm passionate about and also teach it back, right? Give it back. So again, if you're not one of those people that can grind for 32 hours a day, you're just not that person. People can. Pure generators probably can. I know for me, being a manifesting generator, I can go. I have a lot of energy, but that energy is how could I put? I don't have the word for it. That energy is scattered. It's very, very scattered. So what I did was I scattered it into one thing. I scattered it into trading. And I'm scattering it into investments, right? Branching into real estate, doing things like that. So it's going to be all branched in into one thing. And that thing, that umbrella is going to be investments. And I'm fully aware some of the stuff is just going to be busy work for me to do something with the energy. And some of it's going to be fruitful, very, very fruitful. I know this, right? And again, some people need that one singular thing. And there's nothing wrong with either. Pay attention, right? One of the things and signs of unalignment for people is, for me, it's frustration, being a generator or a type, and it's also anger, right? Because again, there's days where my energy is more manifester, and then there's days where my energy is more generator. But what I found is my frustration leads to anger. Anger can lead to rage, but it's just the sign that I'm not in alignment. So for like the projector or a type, it's bitterness, right? I can tell when the people around me who are projectors aren't in alignment because they say things that hint to bitterness. I have several projector friends and family members, and you can just tell when they're not. Everything is just oh, so and so has this, so and so has that. So what? I don't care. It's not my problem, right? And you got to fix what it is with you to where you didn't get what so and so had. It's none of your business, right? And the manifestor, that their theme is just straight anger. Um, and again, I feel that being a hybrid of the two. Uh, so like for instance, my daughter, she has bursts of anger. Again, she's one of the only manifestors I know. And what I teach her to do, or when I first saw it, it's like you take that anger and you put it somewhere because it's a great tool. It's a tool for productivity. And she's a hell of a martial artist. This girl has won several tournaments, fought teenagers, and she's going to be 12 this year. Um, she just won two recently. Took down a quote unquote tough boy that everybody was hyping up. He wasn't so tough when he got kicked in the head, but that's me bragging on my baby. Um, that anger, she focuses in on it, and it doesn't drive her to a point of crazy. It drives her to a point of focus. So when it comes time for her to decide, because she's already saying that she doesn't like school and she's smart as all outdoors, when I introduce her to trading, she's probably going to be a swing trader. And maybe she runs the real estate portion of what I'm going to do, but she will probably do it super efficiently, get her job done, delegate the rest. She's a manifester. It's what they do, right? She's going to find the most efficient way possible for her to go back into her bubble and do her thing. And that's the beauty of it. She's a 5-1 like me. She's a researcher, um, questions things. And that is what's going to make her successful, right? My son's also an MG, but he's more of a generator than a manifester. That kid has an endless motor. I don't, the kid's passionate about video games right now, right? And he's starting to like basketball. And those are the two things that he can do with his nonstop energy. And poor kid's probably going to be short, but we're not going to put that in his head as an excuse. The thing is going to be give it your all. And the theme, the underlying theme for SMG is against frustration, which leads to anger. And once he feels that frustration, all it is you're going to take that frustration and you're going to dial it in because the frustration is just telling you you're off your path. We're going to focus, right? So that's the thing. Like us as generators, we chase satisfaction, right? Another thing, right? That's the theme. Another theme is satisfaction. For if you're a generator type, you have to create something that you're satisfied with. For us, it's a very broad spectrum. It's a very broad general word, but success for us is satisfaction. Doesn't matter what it is. Like I'm satisfied being able to take my family out to eat, pay for it, right? For me, that's satisfaction. I'll be satisfied with my financial situation once I hit my dollar amount, my freedom dollar amount. And that's my dollar amount, right? So like for the projector, they chase success. And what I found with projectors, it's hard to define what success really is. But, and this is going to answer a question that I forgot to respond to from someone in my group, is when a projector needs to define exactly what success looks like for them, write it down. What do you feel in your heart of hearts is going to make you successful? One of my more successful projector friends, he edits the podcast for YouTube. That's what he does. Without him knowing it or not, he is super aligned with him because with himself because he literally has everything broken down and he's in alignment. It's freaking amazing. But I think we have to decondition people to stop acting like worker bees because it's not sustainable for the people of the planet. But decondition it. You don't have to be this guy that says, oh, hashtag grinding, right? You don't have to be that person that says, I'm going to work where everyone sleep. I thought I had to be that person. All it led to was more frustration. But once I started to figure out who I am, then it just got way, way easier, way, way easier. And figuring out that I was unaligning myself with what I found success to be. But don't let success define you. You define it, right? If I was trying to be an NBA player, I'm still stuck on this 15 hours of sleep thing. There's no way I'd be able to get 15 hours of sleep and be at the top of my game. It's just not in the cards for me, but it is for LeBron. That's his thing. Like Kobe, he was a manifesting generator. The dude had a right hand game, left hand game. post up, jump shots, and they say the jack of all trades masters none. BS. BS. A manifesting generator is literally a jack of all trades. I'm an MG. I keep saying it. We are we can master things, very much so. But it's part of the whole, right? So for instance, when Kobe broke his right hand, he all off season he trained left handed. So when it came to the game, he had every single attention to detail covered because of the manifesting generator energy, right? So there's no limits. I think Steve Jobs was also an MG. Um, I forget who else was, but I mean that doesn't matter. So let's tie this into trading. If you're a generator, you're probably going to be a scalper or a short-term trader. You're an MG like me, you're going to do everything: scalp, short-term, swing, all that. Trade, swing trade. I ain't no swinger. If you're a projector, it's where it gets hard. You have to truly define what's going to make you a successful trader. Have to define it. I forget the reflector quite often, and I can probably look it up real quick. Oh well. Essentially, oh well, like the manifester. The manifester is probably going to be a swing trader. I don't remember the reflectors thing, but eventually it'll come back to me and we'll talk about it. If you guys want to know more about human design and how I use it, how I use it to parent, I would actually suggest if you're going to parent, you want to use it for parenting. Megan, the Conscious Village, .ca. That's her expertise. If you're a trader and you want to know your design and how you can align your trading, hit me up. We can talk about it. But that's really all I got today. I just wanted to really talk. And before I go, that's the point of human design. It's not to take you away from your religion and your belief. It's to decondition you. It's to try to put you in alignment with who you are energetically, right? So, and people say, oh, it's new age spirituality. And it's nothing spiritual about human design. It's just deconditioning you and knowing when you're going into your ego. Uh, and also understanding that the mind doesn't always serve us, right? It doesn't serve us sometimes, like for me, like my mind doesn't serve me. My gut is my lead, right? It lights me up. But anywho, I'm rambling now. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. If you guys want to know more about human design and trading, talk to me about it. If you're interested in more or less trying to parent and understanding your kid's design, I'd highly recommend Megan. She is one of one. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. I'll catch you next episode. Cheers.